Good morning. How are you? It's Kirsten Liebelt. Come on in. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. I've got my water. I always do. Come on in. Let's chat. So today's Thursday. I'm so glad to see you guys. All right. Now today, 3:00 Central Standard Time in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We're doing day 4 of the 5-day challenge. So don't miss that. 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You don't have to sign up. You just have to show up. And then the replays will go up into the featured section for 30 days. Facebook only gives us 30 days. So if you are wanting replays of this that we do Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, go over to my YT and subscribe, because Facebook goes, boom, you're done after 30 days. And then all of the replays will be over there. Okay. Good to see you. Jump on in. Every day we talk about insulin resistance. Why? Maybe because I'm crazy. I don't know. We've been doing this part of it, the 11 a.m. show, for a year and a half, you guys. A year and a half. Oh my gosh. A year and a half. And you know what? If you want your journey to be different this fall, if you want your health to be different this fall, if you want to go into the Christmas season with a different mindset, a different thought process, your body actually going in the right direction, then this is for you if you're insulin resistant. This is where you need to be. There are people in my group that they're on their 16th challenge in a row, meaning they gave themselves permission to journey 16 months in a row so far. Told the story the other day of somebody who's on the total body reset. Do I have all my stuff today? I'm on the total body reset. And over the last year, she's lost 17 pounds, 6 inches from under her bust, 5 from her waist, 3 from her hips. Her A1C is down a full point, and her MRI of her fatty liver went from bad to mild. Will you give yourself that kind of permission to journey? You're the only one that can answer it, right? So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about blood pressure and a little bit of the BS that they tell you. So here we go. Good morning, Magda. Speaking of sweetie people, good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Okay. And if you need a path to run on, like a blueprint of transformation, here we go. All right. So this is the deal, you guys. I talk about it all the time. We are just given such bad information. I mean, honestly, I remember, so my dad, type 2 diabetic, insulin dependent. He died at 63, but my whole life was wrapped around, we had Tab soda in the refrigerator. We had the no salt in the cupboard. I think it was blue. Was that a little blue container? Somebody maybe can tell me that. And it just tasted disgusting, right? We did all of those things. He had the little pink packets, and then he was given really bad information. My dad, he would sit and, because, we're being told the same information 40 years later. I don't know if you know this or not, but they haven't really updated to help you. They've only kept you medicated for the last 4 decades. But he would sit on a chair. We had these old, like 1940s furniture. It was actually really kind of cool. And they had these really big, wide arms on them. And he would sit there and he would have his orange, and he would have a steak knife, and he would peel around the orange, and he would make triangles out of the peels, and he would sit and eat oranges and bananas all day long. Tell me if you think that's good advice for an insulin dependent type 2 person. Because if you do, then you're still believing what they told you. Carrie, good to see you 40 years ago. It's so good to see you. Yay, Carrie's on. That's wonderful. So I'm just saying, these are all my memories. So the whole salt conversation, let's fix it today. Let's fix it. Okay. All right. So have you ever been told that you need to cut salt to lower your blood pressure? Raise your hand in the comments. Say me, if that has been true of you. Or you need to exercise more, which is not a bad thing. I took my walk this morning. Did anybody go walking this morning? While those things can help, what is the real root cause for many people is actually insulin. So remember, we talk about the fact that your blood sugar is one lane, your insulin is another lane. Insulin is the hormone that's being released from your pancreas. When you eat, you raise your sugars because your body needs fuel. So it's like ding, and it's either regular dinging, or it's like ding, 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 because you ate something that really spiked them high, in which case then you have to have more insulin, go, 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 to grab it all, to take it into your cell for energy. Okay, that's what we're doing. Your cell is closed when you are resistant, and it says no. So therefore, your pancreas produces more insulin, and this is the connection here. Makes more insulin, which means more inflammation. And yes, it does store all that energy then as fat, like it deposits it into your liver and around your organs. We talk about visceral fat today. That's not our conversation. We talk about that all the time. That's not our conversation today. But with all of that high insulin in your body, here we go. So nitric oxide. Okay, anybody with me? Don't scroll yet. Nitric oxide. I know, me too. Me too. Like science. What? Okay. Your blood vessel relaxer. That's what nitric oxide does. It relaxes your blood vessels. Okay. Open and close dynamically, like adjusting to cold and hot rooms. Like it's really beneficial. This is what you need more of in your body, right? But when your insulin is high, there we go. I had a thing on my screen. I couldn't get rid of it. When your insulin is high, nitric oxide production drops. And you don't want that, right? So your vessels stiffen and your blood pressure rises. Okay. And when insulin comes down through, like, some people are intermittent fasting, the way that you eat, targeted supplementation, all of the things that I talk about, nitric oxide goes back up again. It relaxes the blood vessels and your blood pressure begins to come down. So insulin, the hormone, is what needs to be focused on. So who can tell me why? This is rhetorical, of course. This is me being sassy. Why do they not pull fasting insulin tests? Nobody will have an answer for me, and I know that. Why the heck are they not pulling fasting insulin tests? That should have been the first thing that they did when I was gestational diabetic in my 20s. And nobody has ever talked to me about any of this. Nobody has, I just ended up doing my own research in my 50s. But I'm telling you, when your insulin is high, not only can you not burn fat, it is the main reason why I lost 3 sizes in my 50s, because I learned how to bring down my insulin and I learned how to level up the function of my liver, because those are the 2 things that will block fat loss. But now just transfer that thought process to, if you have high insulin, you also have high blood pressure. Why aren't they testing this? And again, I know nobody's going to have an answer, but it's really frustrating, because it's not just about stop eating salt, eat that crap, no salt, or whatever, or Mrs. Dash, which I'm sure is really good. I don't know. I haven't eaten that in years. So I don't know, because now the way that I eat, I beautifully had Julie, because they can't make money. It's true. I mean, I salt a lot now, right? In fact, I just, somebody asked a question of me this morning, and when she goes low carb and intermittent fasts, she has heart palpitations, and there was something else. I can't remember. And guess what the answer to that is? Electrolytes, salt. Because when you stop eating processed foods, you're not eating the level of salt you've been consuming. Okay. So when you go real food and low carb, you need to replace your salt. Now you're on the other side of the conversation. So I heavily salt with sea salt all my food and love it because it tastes amazing and my body needs it, right? So if they test, people can reverse it. Yep. People can prevent, they can reverse. I know. It is absolutely maddening. I try not to get too ticked about it, but then I would never come back and talk to you. Teresa, the insulin does not help or the glipizide help. Yep, exactly. Why does my sugar? Oh, interesting. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're asking that to this. Austria. Oh my goodness. Nice to meet you. Trudy, you, yes. Hello from Iowa, Amy. Good to see you. Okay, hold on. Why does my sugar level rise early? Oh, It's a really good one, you guys. Good question here. And then we'll go back to the insulin and blood pressure. Why does my sugar level rise early in the morning when I was low or medium when I went to bed? Then I take my thyroid pill and it goes up more. Well, that's a good question. I would, the insulin or the glipizide doesn't help. It's not to their advantage and they want to keep you on meds. That is true, Magda. So Dawn phenomenon is a very, very common. It's one of the, seemingly it's one of like the last pieces of the puzzle for people. Like when they're trying to get everything under control, those morning sugars, man, they just kind of, because you're having rises and falls in the middle of the night. It's what's waking you up at 2, 3 in the morning. You wake up and then you're, because your blood sugar crashes and then your cortisol goes high. And by the time you hit morning, your sugars are still high. They have not gone down. Okay. So that's called Dawn phenomenon. I had a client who she actually didn't even know she was diabetic until her A1C hit 13 and she had a stroke. And that's how she found out she was type 2. And for 3 years, she worked with her doctors with meds, like the ones that you just mentioned, with meds and diet and everything. And she got her A1C down to a 6 something, but she could not budge that morning sugar high. And so she reached out to me and she's like, what can I do? Like, what I hear you talking about the trio, and I'm not going to go into those right this second, but the trio are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is the foundation of what I talk about. She says, I hear you talking about this. Would this help me? And I'm like, well, I don't know, like 6-month guarantee, give it a try. Well, in 2.5 months, her morning sugars dropped by 30 points and she lost 14 pounds. And for that 3 years, she couldn't budge 1 pound. She was stuck. So when you actually can address the insulin and the liver, you can get different results because you're working on the inside to come out and produce results. So that Dawn phenomenon, it is a stinker. It's because you're having blood sugar fluctuations in the middle of the night. And most likely, this is just going to be my opinion now. If I were working with you one-on-one, I would say probably somewhere in your diet, you're still not grain, sugar, and legume free 100%. And then I would say, like I have a magnesium blend that I take and I recommend to people. Taking a really good quality magnesium before you go to bed can help with those functions of the body as you're sleeping. That's kind of the beginning of what I would talk about, but there you go. That's what that is. So going back to the blood pressure. So this is coming from information from, I want to get the doctor's name right because I want to give him credit. So hold on. Dr. Rangan Chatterjee and Dr. Pradeep Jamdas. Okay. So these are doctors. This is information that I gathered because I found this to be very fascinating and I thought this would really help you guys. So when patients lowered insulin, blood pressure meds sometimes reduced or completely stopped. Their weight also came down because insulin is a fat storing hormone. This is why these things work. This wasn't about avoiding salt. It was about tackling the real driver. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure, don't focus on salt. I mean, you can in terms of getting rid of all of the processed foods that you're eating. If you're eating grain-free, it eliminates most all of your processed foods anyway. Start looking at your fasting insulin, and they may have never pulled one for you, but if you go back into your labs and look for it, that would probably help you, okay? If I remember, I will put a chart. I'm trying to think. I can't do it on TikTok because there won't be a replay. But I can do it on FB. I'll post a chart. It's like a stoplight chart of, green, yellow, red for the numbers of insulin to know what they should be. So start looking at fasting insulin as the hidden marker your doctor might not be checking. Addressing insulin resistance can mean less medication. Anybody, you want that? Better blood pressure, your weight actually coming off, right? And so if you ask for that test, The goal under 5 is ideal, but under 10 is progress, just to kind of give you a little bit of a gauge. Okay. So how do you do this? How do you make this different? And remember, when your insulin is high, your nitric oxide is down in your body, and you need nitric oxide to actually be produced so that it can help your blood, the walls of your blood vessels to be amiable, right? So that your blood pressure can come down. With low nitric oxide, because you have high insulin, your blood vessels, they stiffen and your blood pressure goes up. Okay. So that's kind of a little tutorial on what we just went over. So when I talk about no grain, no sugar, and no legumes, it is because when you are constantly spiking your sugars like this, and you have to have high insulin in order to take care of it, and after a while it can't, and finally your blood sugar rises. In the meantime, you've had high insulin this whole time. And insulin is a fat storing hormone, and it is a nitric oxide reducer, which is what you want. And that's what's causing all of these issues. So when I come on here and I'm like, okay, the trunk of your tree is called insulin resistance, and all of the other branches come off of it. All of them. I swear everything is connected to insulin resistance. In my world, that's what it seems like. Now, whether or not that's actually true, I can't prove that. But there are many, many things. So whether you have high blood pressure, leaky gut, you're not sleeping at night, you're exhausted all the time, fatty liver, PCOS, gout, type 2 diabetes, like the list goes on. And it's all from this trunk right here. So that's why everything I talk to you about has to do with insulin resistance. And when I teach you how to eat, it has to do with insulin resistance. And when I teach you how to supplement, it has to do with insulin resistance. Because if you can deal with the trunk, just think about what happens with all of your branches. And you have been your own testimonies. And then you send them to me, and then I get to tell everybody else. And it's very, very fun. It's very exciting because we're finally taking back our health. Are we not tired of being, at best, given ignorant advice, and at worst being lied to? Aren't we tired of that? Like, that is no fun. We're done with that. Okay, so swapping your foods. And we talked about that this week in the group for the challenge. No sugar, no grains, and no legumes, because when you are insulin resistant, the playing field changed. Doesn't mean forever necessarily, but you do have to back out of insulin resistance land. And it does take it takes time. It takes time to become metabolically flexible again. I'm just going to be real with you. Like, it's not like you're doing this for 60 days and you're good to go. You know, if you wore a CGM, you would know how long it's going to take you. That would help you probably, right? Number 2, you can supplement, but if you're going to supplement, make sure that you're supplementing for the liver, the gut, and insulin. Liver, gut, insulin. Liver, gut, insulin. Why the liver? Because it takes you understanding what your liver does for your body in order to be able to take that time to support your liver. So your liver governs all of your hormones. Insulin is a hormone. Your liver governs the glucose in your blood. Your liver governs your fat metabolism and your ability to burn fat. So liver, insulin, you can't burn fat if one is sluggish and one is high. So you've got 2 strikes against you. And then your gut, that's your overall universe. Your GI tract means everything in this process, because insulin resistance has been creating leaky gut. It's been creating it. And so it's weakening the walls of your gut. You're leaking nutrients. You've got high inflammation in your gut. You're kind of a mess, right? That's what happens. And then the last one is, you can do some fasting if it works for you. Like, for instance, I kind of do a natural default of fasting, just the way that I do it. I don't eat usually until, I don't know. I've been up for a good couple of hours before I eat. I don't eat right away. And so I don't do anything religious in terms of the hours or anything like that. But I do understand the benefit of just waiting until I'm really hungry. I understand the benefit of just giving my body a freaking rest, because no matter what you eat, you're going to call on insulin. It's just the way that it is. Your body was made to function. So when I talk about the total body reset, and that was going back to the, let's go back to the testimony that I just gave you at the beginning of, at the top of the hour, where she was doing the total body reset and she had those amazing results where she lost all those inches, 6'5", up and down her trunk, 17 pounds gone. Her A1C is down a point. Her MRI of her fatty liver went from bad to mild. This is what that looks like. So remember, I just showed you about the trio. This is where I started. And you can start with just the trio. Nobody should ever feel like you have to take on the whole total body reset. If you want to go fast, that's a good way to go, right? I have somebody else who's 74 years old. By doing the total body reset in 5 months, she lost 45 pounds because she was addressing her insulin and her liver and her gut. Like, I don't know how else more clear to say that, right? Like, I know exactly why she got the results that she got. Okay. But this is where I started, and it fully supported me in losing my 3 sizes. So if you want to start with just the trio, perfect. It's under $100 for those 3. And just make sure you register as a customer. Register for your free account with your name. Don't check out as a guest. You miss out on the best shipping. You miss out on potentially like the customer campaign, depending on how much you're purchasing, where you get money back, like 153 months in a row. And that 3rd month, you get $75 back. It's huge. Anyway, so the trio is where I started. And I really, really highly recommend that people consider this. The second piece was the gut reset. And if you are somebody that's like, I do need to just start with my gut, like I need some help. I had somebody just reach out and say, I am so constipated. I go maybe once a week and it's only with over the counter. It's really poor for your system. And that's I'm trying not to be dramatic. That's not okay. Somebody has to tell you that's not okay. You cannot have that level of toxins build up in your body and have impacted waste just sitting there all the time. Super duper duper unhealthy. Okay. So if you're constipated, indigestion, leaky gut, you don't have a gallbladder anymore. Maybe you have diarrhea all the time. Maybe you just know that you don't feel quite right. And you don't have energy and you're exhausted and you're not sleeping well at night. And you know your system from where your mouth enters until everything exits. That's your gut. You know you're not on your game. Then this is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is a gut primer and then a probiotic. Those 2 together make a phenomenal gut reset protocol that is comprehensive, and it is the recalibration of your gut. It's not just something that's putting a little teeny tiny Band-Aid on something. It's literally like I have people that they won't stop every 30 days getting another tub. That's me too, but I expect it of myself because whatever. But anyway, and it looks like this. It's a green powder. It smells like tea, tastes like tea. I don't love it. I don't think it tastes like cookie dough blizzard. I wish it did. But I just put it in a little bit of water. Mine was right here from this morning. So a little bit of water, froth it up with my frother, take it like a wellness shot. Like I just go, boom, done. Okay. Some people love it. They think it tastes like Christmas in a cup. I just don't know what Christmas they're talking about. Anyway, that's them. And then the 3rd piece is the visceral fat burner, which is the pixie stick. So when you do the total body reset, that's everything, but you don't have to do that. But if you want to target your liver, your gut, your insulin, like I actually have real answers for you. I do. And I will walk journey with you. I'm jumping on the phone today with one of my customers. She's like, before I place my order, I've got some questions. Perfect. You know, we kind of check in every so often so she can see if she's on, the right path and what else can she tweak, etc. I am more than happy to serve people in my world, right? And I can actually walk journey with you, but then also that's a part of why we do the challenges every month. So I hope that you would jump in on the challenges. Good morning, Phyllis from Arkansas. Good to see you. I'm in Minnesota, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Okay. I always feel like I miss something, and oftentimes I do, and I go back and I see them. It's StreamYard. Can you do this if you're type 1? Okay, I'm going to answer that for you here in just a second, Eileen. How long did it take you to overcome insulin resistance? Nat, I don't know the fullness of the answer, but I will just tell you quickly. It took me, because remember, I wasn't doing any video. I wasn't watching it. This didn't exist. None of this existed. I started a little over 10 years ago. I was a 2X in size. My shoulder had just frozen. My insulin resistance was off the charts, but I don't know any of this stuff. Insulin resistance wasn't even a term. I just knew that I was getting fat in areas that I wasn't excited about. And that was as a 2X person. Like, it didn't make me 2X in that moment. I was already. And I'm like, this gets worse. That was me. So I decided to trade out my foods. And it took me about 3 to 4 years to trade out my foods alone. So I'm not a very fair example because a lot of you crush. You take all of my content and you go, done, bam. And you like hit the ground running, not perfect, but you are constantly trading things out. I was kind of a little bit of a turtle. But since then, what I will say to you is having changed my 3 sizes and having really gotten a handle on the foods that I eat, I would say that my metabolic flexibility now is, I'm trying to see what point in my world would I equate it to. Probably back to when I was 30. I lost a lot of weight the year that my dad died. And I don't remember what kind of diet I went on, but I do remember that whatever I did, how I was doing it, I wasn't necessarily eating healthy. I was really being calorie deficit, whatever, but my body was still responding when I was right around 30. And so I would say that I'm back to that area where I'm eating I eat very grain, sugar, legume free. But even then, I would notice that if I ate something, it would take me off course. Like, I could tell, like, my body didn't respond favorably. So then I would stay tweaked longer because, like, oh my gosh, like, how long is this going to take? And then now I can just tell because every now and then I push my envelope because I'm always assessing myself. Okay. So I don't know the answer to that other than with Magda for 1 year, she has those amazing results. She's not done yet. She's not done yet fully turning, right? Okay. Now she's type 2 and she checks her sugars. So it will take her, like, let's go another year now, right? So what if it took you 3 years to become very metabolically flexible to undo, but in the meantime, you're getting off of meds, you're losing weight, and I'm not even saying it would take that long, but I'm just saying, what if it did? Do you give yourself permission for the journey? I think she's not sad that her MRI says mild fatty liver instead of bad. I think she's not sad that 6 inches are gone from under her bra line. 5 from her waist, 3 from her hips. I don't think she's sad. So the progression, there's joy in the progression. Okay. Not just in the finale. Catherine, oh, I so appreciate you. Deborah says she needs help. You know what, Deborah? I'd be more than happy to chat with you. You heard my Minnesota. Thanks for what you're doing. A Minnesotan living in Florida. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I want to live in Florida. I love Florida. We were there. My husband and I took a few days this last winter. We really like Florida. I have a sister in Lake City, and sister-in-law in Lake City, and a sister-in-law in Orlando. So we really do love Florida. But anyway, okay. And then type 1. Somebody asked me about type 1. I'll wrap up with this, and then I will see you guys at 3:00 today in the group, okay? The group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can go to my website and find it. Just give me your email to get in there. Somebody's not going to let you in if you don't do email. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's because of the way that Facebook is doing stuff. And then I just have no contact with people ever. So if you go to my website, it's my first last name, KirstenLiebelt.com, and it looks like this. Okay. You can get a free blueprint. You can get a free egg white bread recipe, a free chocolate pudding that's sugar-free, and then go all the supplementation, blah, 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 my Amazon stuff. But there's a Facebook icon right here, and that will take you to the group. Okay. Anyway, so type 1, and it is a different wheelhouse for sure. So this is what I would say about type 1. you are still going to benefit from having your sugars balanced and having your insulin in check, even though you're probably having your insulin dependent, I'm most likely. If you just change your world to focus on your liver and your gut, your liver and your gut, you will go far, because it's going to the very root of the parts of your body that need to function in order to produce better results for you, to produce better stability for you. Your liver governs your hormones and the sugar in your blood. So there is no reason for you not to just absolutely love and adore your liver. Like, do everything you can. Meaning you eliminate things that hurt your liver, like high fructose corn syrup. You're probably not eating that anyway, but high fructose corn syrup can only go through your liver. Seed oils are very inflammatory. I teach real food, sugar, grain, legume free, and still how to be a foodie. But then all of the supplementations that I do in the trio, there's liver. I'll just show you the three things. In the trio, I have something for liver. In the gut primer, this is liver and this is liver. So 3 out of the 6 things that I recommend happen to be for your liver. That's why I'll just show this to you. If you go on my site, that's why when you get there, at the very top, you will see oh, I thought the reset stack was on there. It's not. If you need the reset stack of those 3, you can just hit me up in my DMs and say reset stack. And those 3, I have those 3 together, because that is the beginning of helping anybody, whether you're type 1 or type 2, to really focus on your liver and your gut to get up and running. So, yeah, it is a different game, and I don't deal with a lot of type 1 because of it. It's not my wheelhouse. But a lot of the systems, all of the systems of your body are the same as somebody who is type 2 that need to be dealt with, because it's all connected. It's all connected. So I hope that helps a little bit. Jody, Minnesotan here, new to me and looking forward to learning much more. You have severe fatty liver, Jody. I understand. And you're from Minnesota. I love that. I live by the cities, Jody. Where do you live? I would love to know. So we do talk a lot about fatty liver because it is a fallout. And you have to understand that, 60 years ago, they were alcoholics who had fatty liver, and now it's diet related, and everything is turnaroundable in my opinion. Everything is. I'm not a doctor, but I will point you to the resources that you need for that. From Georgia, Maria, pre-diabetic and wanting to learn how to get out of the pre-diabetic stage. Well, I teach 2 things. I teach food ingredient trade outs, and I teach targeted supplementation. And it's just not, it's not sexy. It's not sparkly. It's not packaged really well. It's not, I don't have any bows or ribbons or medals or banners. I have my own journey. And, being raised by a type 2 insulin dependent dad changed my life forever. And I was taught that it was genetic. And, he died. I always talk about it. He had this lazy Susan full of medication. And I just wasn't interested in living his life, because his 50s, he had very poor function. And he went downhill in his function, in his ability to enjoy life, in his ability to have any free time outside of all of his medical appointments and his heart surgeries and his kidney dialysis. And I just didn't want that. And so where he took medications and listened to all of the traditional matrix information and went downhill and died at 63, I started with supplementation. I was a 2X in size, and I was 50 years old when I finally did something. And I did supplementation, and I had never supplemented before. I basically was, an ibuprofen taker, and in my 30s, I took Metabolite. So I just decided that I was going to try a different journey completely. And now I am 60. I've completely avoided type 2. I'm the only one in my immediate family that has avoided it. I'm not on any meds, and I feel terrific. I wish I could get people to understand what it's like to wake up and not ache, or what, to get down on the floor with your grandbabies, or, to be able to, I get up in the morning and I walk because I can. I walk because I can. And by the way, if you would walk 10 minutes after you ate, you would immediately reduce the insulin need in your body. That's just a little something for you. Sherry is watching. She's working on the total body reset, and she hopes to see me at 3:00. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. So what I just went over for the supplementation, that is the total body reset. But for anybody who just wants to take step number 1, I highly recommend that you consider the trio, just the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Get your insulin and your sugars down. Get your sugar cravings and your appetite under control. Get your liver to function and your metabolism to move. If you can move your inside system, just like you take your car to a mechanic to get them to make it so that it will give you back better gas mileage when you drive it away from the mechanic's shop. It's the same thing with your body. And that's where I started. And I just kept on changing out my foods and doing a little bit of study so that I can come here and say, I think these third-party resources would really benefit you. I think this would be a really good place for you to start. And then if anybody needs a customized answer from me, you can DM me. Sometimes it takes me, up to a day to respond, just so that you know, because I do have so many people that I'm talking to. But be patient or bump it up again or however, but I will help you as best as I can to give you a customized answer as to what you want to start with. What if I don't want to start with a total body reset? Fine. Maybe you want to start with the trio, but I really do have gut issues. Like I'm not going to the bathroom and I'm constipated. Perfect. Let's talk about the gut reset protocol with the probiotic. Let's talk about the gut primer, right? Like I can help you to navigate and to customize. But changing out your foods, when I teach sugar, grain, and legume free, the reason why it's a big deal is because I'm Italian and I never, ever, 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 ever thought that I would be able to do it. Ever. I thought that my deeply inset ways of eating were never going to leave me, right? But I've learned how to just trade out the foods trade out the ingredients to the foods that I already love. And the fact that I lost 3 sizes in my 50s is not the story. I've kept it off and I'm continuing to move smaller and smaller. I've kept it off. That's the story. You have to understand. Anybody can go on a program. Anybody can take a shoddy shot, right? And I'm not putting that down. I'm not even saying that's a completely different conversation. I have many customers that are doing that, but I'm just saying, you can do something fast, but you want to know that you're going to have some maintenance. You want to know that you're not going to then go back. It's like the number one biggest fear is really my point. It's the number one biggest fear. I go down and then I go back up, and then I go down and I go back up. And they want to know that somebody can actually teach them once and for all how to have long-term sustainable ways of fishing, as it were. So there you go. Indeed, Chris says. All right, 3:00 Central Standard Time in the group. I can see my power is going low on my phone. 3:00 Central Standard Time in the group. I would love to see you in there today. It's day 4 of the 5-day challenge. You can go onto my site. It's on the screen. If you are Facebook or YouTube, that's my site. You can go there, scroll all the way up. It takes you to the bottom and you can get the Facebook icon. Jump in there and I will see you. And then tomorrow I'll be back here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll do another day before the weekend. And in Minnesota, the weekend means a little bit of Minnesota State Fair. Just a little bit, because we get 10 days to enjoy the state fair. So, all right. Yeah, I know you hate the up and down and you always feel worse. I get it, Maria. Listen, it was my entire life. I've done the cabbage soup diet and the grapefruit diet, and I've done literally all of them. I was bribed to diet starting at 11 years old. I'm just telling you. I just heard this morning that the average year of puberty for girls now is starting at age, oh man, I don't remember what age they said, but they said it was like 6 or 7 years younger than it used to be. I should have paid attention to the stat. I don't like giving stats that aren't perfect in that way. And it's because of the way that we're eating. I was insulin resistant as a young girl, but I didn't know it. And it didn't show up until I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. So just think about what we're doing and why we have so many girls in their 20s and 30s with PCOS. We can change this tide. You can learn how to fish, and it can be forever. This is not a quick fix or a fancy program, jazz hands. This is you learning how to get your body to get back up and running again forever. Forever. Okay? That's what that is. With your Italian grandma, bribe to diet. Terrible. Terrible. I will never say that to my grandchildren, ever, ever, ever. They will just have different food when they come to Nona's. They'll have I'll make food that's yummy and amazing, and they'll have no idea that I've served them really good, healthy food for their body. And it will be no grain, no sugar, and no legumes. Because I know how to teach them how to enjoy yummy food that's not going to ruin their life. So anyway, all right. I know. I'm super passionate, aren't I? All right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. See you at 3 if you're in the group. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow at 11. Bye, you guys. Love you.